I'm Jessica Koch with Jessica Koch Consulting, and this is the Profound Professionals interview series. I started this interview series in 2018. I really wanted to have the opportunity to feature and promote individuals who are leaders in their industry, as well as really touching the world in a greater way outside of themselves. Today, I have the honor of having Sue Ballmann, founder of Brio HealthSpot, as my guest, and she is going to share with us a little bit about her story and her journey, as she's probably one of the most fascinating people I've met in a very long time. So welcome, Sue.
Thank you, Jessica. I'm excited to be here on this beautiful summer afternoon and talk with you as always. We can't seem to find enough time to get together and just talk.
I know.
So this would be a great opportunity.
And every time we get on, we can't seem to get off because there's just always one more interesting thing. So I'm excited that I finally got to have you here with me. Do us a favor and kind of give us a little bit of back history. So a little bit about where you're from and a little bit about your journey and your story that kind of led you into the health world.
Okay. So I grew up in the Maryland suburbs of Washington, D.C., and my mother was a nurse. I grew up in kid heaven. So in the summertime, like right now, we would have 25 or 30 kids playing kickball on the front lawn at night, ride bicycles all day, and hang out at the swimming pool. So summer was pretty much like living in heaven. And my mother, being a nurse, always tagged along when she went to the grocery store, and she would stand in the aisles and read all the ingredients and all the packages way back in the 60s before anybody did it. If it had BHA, BHT, artificial flavors, artificial colors, no. So we weren't allowed to have any of the really good cereals, or so a lot of that was off the plate. Anyway, so, you know, we all rolled our eyes way back then, but those good habits end up sticking with you over the years. And anyway, I went out to Indiana for college. I went to St. Mary's in Notre Dame, Indiana.
Wow.
And interestingly enough, so I went to all the Notre Dame football games. And so I remember sophomore year, for instance, we were up in the top of the stands, and somebody started yelling, when I yell, "What's your favorite state?" I want everybody to yell Montana. So we're standing there, "What's your favorite state?" And we're yelling Montana. "What's your favorite state?" Montana. So I always like to know why I'm doing what I'm doing. And then, so I asked someone, and they said, well, there's a really great quarterback who's sitting on the bench. He's third string, and we want to get him in the game. And guess what? It was Joe Montana, who went from third string sophomore year at Notre Dame to Sports Illustrated Athlete of the Year for the 1980s. So anyway, that just, it provides a little inspiration to just show that you don't have to always start at the top.
Right.
Everybody can work their way up. So then I continued on. I got a BBA in accounting from St. Mary's. And then I went on to get my CPA certificate, which would be natural. And then I started getting intrigued by all the fancy tax transactions you could do. And they didn't really involve numbers so much, but you could solve so many problems. So I got a master's in tax from the University of Baltimore. And then after a number of years, so I got laid off in the beginning of in that recession in, I don't know, 1990 or whatever. And with, let's see, so I had 12 years of experience, a master's in tax, a CPA, and I'm getting asked questions like, so what were your SAT scores in high school? And I'm like, wait a minute, this doesn't even make any sense. Do I want to work for somebody who's worried about my SAT scores?
Crazy.
So I started thinking, and I just decided at that point just to start on my own and start my own accounting practice, focusing on tax. And since I didn't have any clients and I had moved to a new home relatively recently at that point, I made up some yellow flyers and very specifically explaining why somebody would need a tax accountant. I punched them in the stomach on that, so they would feel the pain as to why they needed me. And there was a kid across the street in 7th grade who used to bring his friends over every day to look at my baseball card collection from the 1960s. So anyway, so I asked him if he would like to deliver flyers, and would he be interested in trading some flyer delivery for some baseball cards. So we struck a deal, and he was in heaven. I gave him the run of the whole collection, and then so he got a Roberto Clemente out of it, his favorite player.
Wow.
And that's how I started my tax practice, and didn't have to steal clients from anybody else. And then I was heavily involved in the JCs, and I was president for a couple of years. Mm-hmm. And that got me introduced to all kinds of incredible community service work. Mm-hmm. And then over the years, I just built my practice. And one of the things that I noticed was all the accountants out there were sick. I can't count the times new clients would walk in the door and they would say, well, the reason I'm here is because my accountant got sick. So I started taking notice.
That is good. And I have to say, just right at this spot, Deanna Alessi is on live with us right now, and she's watching. So hi, Deanna. She's actually a fellow health enthusiast. She's an amazing, brilliant health coach, and a wonderful supporter and friend of mine. So I think hopefully you guys will get together at some point with all of the different holistic pieces that you do. Really complements some of what she does. So that's really cool. So
and I would love to sit and brainstorm with her. I love to brainstorm with new people.
That's right. So you took notice that the CPAs were getting sick. So then you kind of went the recheck of all the training from your mom. What was your next kind of thought process along that from the health standpoint?
Well, after somebody introduced me to an immunity product about 8 years ago, and they pointed out that if you boosted your immune system, mm-hmm. that's really the source of cancer and all kinds of issues. Just your immune system. So it really got me to thinking. And then I took this immunity product, and I was just shocked at the results. All of a sudden, I stopped getting colds. I'd have a couple of colds every year. Those disappeared. Everything disappeared. And then one of the things that I've noticed is that once you start down the health trail, you take one baby step, and it leads to another and another and another. So I just gradually started looking at different options out there. So if somebody talked about different products, my ears would just perk up. So I found a wide range of products just all over the place. I listen to everything, and some things work, some things don't. And some things work for some people and they don't for others. Mm. And there's just so many incredible options out there. And one of the things that I decided was, I'm enjoying life, so I want to live to 120. So I was
on the phone. Wait, I have to tell you, I was on the phone with someone today, and she's another one of my dear friends, Anne Marie, and she's also in the health space, kind of the brain gut. She's she's a nurse and all that. And she said to me, she just had a birthday over the past weekend, and she said that the running joke at her house is they put 99 candles on her birthday cake because and she's nowhere near that, but she always says she's going to live to be 150, a healthy, thriving 150. In my house, it's 110. And I have to tell you, Deanna's commenting, I didn't know this about her. She's very heavily in the health space and for meditation, and that's what I know her for. She apparently is a retired accountant also.
Oh my gosh!
I know that about my friend, so that is so cool. Too funny.
She's an escaped accountant.
That's escaped. That's right. That's right. That's what I would call it.
I'm trying to escape.
Yeah, you couldn't pay me to do that.
Well, you know what? I figured if I learned the numbers, which I really am not crazy about, if I learned how to work the numbers, then I would understand everything, because that was always the hardest for me.
Yeah.
So, but and in continuing on this, and wanting to live to 120, I'm terrified of needles. I can't swallow all those horse pills.
I know.
I
That's
don't
hard for me. The supplements too. That's so tough for me.
I don't like taking the I don't like taking the medicines. They just taste terrible.
Hmm.
And the side effects of the drugs, not to mention who wants tubes or ventilators stuck down you.
Yeah, that's no fun. That does not sound like fun to me.
So I'm just looking for the very easy way to do this. And if I can find, and I know we're both here sipping water, and I talked to one person one day, and you know what she said? She said my answer for everything is drink water, and no matter what happens to my kids, if they fall and they hurt themselves, drink water. And you it's good. You add a few minerals, so you're getting your nutrients, and you're great. And then back to my mother and the nutrients in the
Hmm.
60s. I don't know if you remember, but one of the cartoons that at least I grew up watching was our very first superhero, Popeye. And
Yeah.
what did he always say? I'm good to the finish because I eats my spinach. Or me spinach, but
That's right, man. Gotta love me some Popeye, some good old classic Popeye. I also liked Mighty Mouse, just on the just
oh
case.
yeah,
Yeah,
well we watched them all, but hey, at least Popeye, he had the right idea, and his
that's true.
girlfriend was olive oil.
That's right. And that man, she needed to eat a cheeseburger. I'm just saying.
Well, you know what? Nobody's perfect, and we all slip, but you do your best, and as long as you don't have a constant diet of the junk food,
Right.
I think it helps a whole lot.
Right. Absolutely. Okay, so you started to pay attention, and then you exited the accounting world. So
Well, I'm
where?
still I'm still doing some, but
Okay.
but my passion is the health.
Well, you've started this health spot, and you're doing some other pieces that go with the health world. Do you want to share a little more with us about that?
Well, I'm finding some what I'm working on because it's not just about one thing. So
Mhm.
I've set up the Brio Health Spot. So, and the word Brio, it means energy, zest, zing,
I love that.
gusto. It's just a very exciting word. And the other thing is nobody knows about it. So I always look for the thing that's just
Unique.
like that. That's
Yeah.
really awesome that nobody knows about.
Right.
And anyway, so I wanted to one of the things, having been an accountant and an entrepreneur, I'm a serial entrepreneur.
For
I
sure.
just look for opportunities, and you know how when you and I talk,
Yeah.
it's like we just go back and forth, and you're throwing opportunities at me, I'm throwing them at you, and we can't talk fast enough, and we can't write them down fast enough.
Hmm.
So I listen to everybody, and I just look for opportunities. So what we're going to do here is it's going to be a collaborative effort of people who have holistic ideas and opportunities and bring them all together. And what I'm hoping is we will change the concept of, let's say, 9 to 5 healthcare,
Hmm.
because people don't get sick or just have aches and pains between 9 and 5, and people like flexibility, and there are plenty of people who are willing to provide healthcare and brainstorm on different things in the middle of the night. You could have a whole night owl session. So
Hmm.
eventually, now we don't know what things are going to look like as we open up right now, but I've always envisioned having like a night owl shift on everything,
Hmm.
because I've got so many friends where, even when I first started out in my town, there was only one restaurant open, and that was Outback, and that was open late. So I would go eat dinner with certain friends, and then later on, somebody would call me for the cheese fries shift to brainstorm on new business ideas. And we would just have idea after idea, on napkins, just sitting there late. And those are just really fun, creative times.
That's
And
right. That's
so
right.
I'm just hoping that we will be open to a wide variety of people with different entrepreneurial pursuits. I'm looking at all kinds of things and seeing who's interested in what, and just, this is a great time for people to be entrepreneurs. It
Absolutely.
just, so many jobs have been lost overnight, and I love the idea of looking at providing opportunities for people. One of my favorite expressions is, success happens when preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah.
And so, and I know you believe in that, whether or not you've said it, because I know both you and we're preparing like crazy for whatever this new world looks like.
Yeah.
And just to be able to take advantage and help other people along also.
So before we transition into talking about some of the causes and other things you're involved in, you shared something at one of our, where we collaboratively go to and attend an amazing women's networking group called the Dream Queen. And you shared something that just really inspired me. And if you'd be kind enough to share it now, I would love that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this kind of came out, this came very quickly. I wrote, I'm going to have to partially read it, but you know, people talk about having a word for the year. So I decided that I've taken so many classes over the years. Now is my time to implement and get into action. So my word for 2020 is action. So stands for abundance and attitude of gratitude. And if you can create abundance for everyone and for everyone around you, and you can be thankful for everything you have. If you're thankful and you have an attitude of gratitude, you certainly can't be complaining. Those two are mutually exclusive, it seems.
Yeah.
And C would be connect and collaborate. And this particularly right now, you want to connect with other people and collaborate and cooperate on projects. So one of the things that I found is that 2 and 2 is not necessarily 4. If you do it right, it's actually 22, because so many great ideas come out of collaboration.
Yes.
And connecting. And then one of, big weakness is then T would be time management, both business and personal, making sure that I learn how to arrive to everything on time, get the projects planned properly, and provide some personal time, and that can include making time for health, prayer, and keep education in there, and keep current. And then I would be ideas and innovation. So now's a great time. Be creative, be the first, and explore new options. And then speaking of options, O would be options and opportunities, and keep an open mind.
Yes, open mind is so key. So many people miss out on so much for not having an open mind. I love that one.
And that's incredible. So I always say, pivot, look for new opportunities, and don't judge when somebody brings you an opportunity. Listen, you may not like that opportunity, but you go 2 or 3 steps down the road and there's an amazing opportunity right behind it, or that may not be the right opportunity for you now, but you may connect with them on something else. That's incredible. And N is for do it now.
Now, absolutely. I love that. All right. Well, you have all demonstrated that kind of action position in the world of causes as well. So share with us some of what you've been up to outside of business growth and entrepreneurial and all of the work that you've done. So share with us some of what you've done to touch the community and the world that has gotten you excited.
Well, I volunteer, and I just can't help it. If there's a great cause, I'm on board. So one of the most practical and favorite causes is something called End Hunger in Calvert County. And it does exactly what it says. And like 93 or 94% of the funds go directly to the organization. So there's not a lot of administrative costs, which are important. And in our county, 1 in 9 people go hungry. So they run a dragon boat race normally it's in June. This year it'll be in August. And so for several years, I have been the drummer and the captain of a team called the Quack Attack. And
I love it. And I actually rode in a dragon boat race myself, not the one you originally organized, but another one. And they're just fantastic events. So if you've never been involved in a dragon boat race before, hopefully that'll be one of the things we see being available as the world begins to open up more and more to do for all kinds of amazing causes. I just love the whole dragon boat thing. Tell us a little bit more about it. I know you were involved in planning it and putting it together. Are there any other pieces about that you'd like to share?
well, it was just fun. So the first year, I just went to my pastor and said, hey, I went up to this dragon boat race, and there were no Catholic churches in there, and it seems like End Hunger would be a great cause for that. And so he agreed. So we put together a team. And everybody got really excited. We came up with the hats. We even had a tutu making party. So I went to pick up checks. Everybody contributes some money. They can either get people to sponsor them or just self-sponsor to be a part, to be a paddler. And anyway, so we decided everybody, the women were talking about wearing tutus. And making the tutus. And then I picked up a check from a former Marine, and he said, well, I'm feeling a little left out because all the women are wearing tutus. And he said, what about the guys? We'd like to wear tutus or at least grass skirts. So
I love it.
It was just fun. It was so energetic, and we raised a good amount of money. And it's a great cause. So that's something I'll look at captaining a boat this year and see what we can do. And then the other thing that I totally enjoy is the organization where I met you, is the Dream Queen organization.
Yeah,
where they run the Gals Leap program for teen girls, and teach them how to survive and thrive.
Yeah, I love the curriculum for the teen girls. It's the 4 pillars of success. It's know yourself, dream big, overcome obstacles, and take action. So right in line with your action phrase. I love that the acronyms for each letter for that is so fantastic. I can't wait for the book that you're writing that go along with that to come out. So I will be one of the first buyers.
There we go.
Thank you so much for doing this with me and sharing your story and your journey. And thank you to our lively, amazing Deanna, who jumped on spontaneously for the journey, as I didn't really announce this or send this anywhere, but we'll be pushing it out everywhere later. So if you're watching the replay, any information and ways to reach Sue will be in the description below this YouTube video. If you're finding this on LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter, look in the article that's attached to it, and you'll find all of the ways to reach her and a little more information about her. Before we say goodbye, and Deanna says fantastic, and Deanna Alessi is amazing, Alessi, so make sure you reach out to her if you'd like to learn more about health coaching and meditation and things like that, as well as Sue. So before we say goodbye, of course, I'm going to ask you to show your love by like, sharing, and commenting. Show your love with action. Like, share, and comment. Is there one last thing that you can share with everyone before we say goodbye that's just helpful or something that inspires you?
Well, one of the things I like dissecting these little words. So one of the things in my action phrase, I put in there pivot. So I have, and right now, pivoting is extremely important with this COVID situation, and what worked yesterday doesn't work today. So so P is for people. Stay in contact with all the people around you, whether or not you do business with them. Just stay in contact, and then build your list and just call people and say, hey, how are you doing? How can I help you? Do you need anything? And then I would investigate new opportunities. So you want to examine new opportunities and go back and take a look at opportunities that you may have said, I don't really like that before, but maybe everything has changed and it's a fantastic opportunity right now. And then V would be take advantage of video. And
Yes, video.
exactly like we're doing right
Especially
now.
live, no matter what happens.
Exactly. I'm on these video meetings all day long. So stay connected doing video, and you can take the time to do a deep dive like what we're doing right now. And you can, and people are really open to that right now. And speaking of open, O would be keep your options open. You never know what's going to come your way and who you might meet. And T would be take new classes, learn new skills, and stay current. So those would be my final.
And I have A for allergies in my eyes live on YouTube. So there you go. You just keep rolling with it and smile. So thank you so much for sharing all these amazing things. We will make sure Sue's information is everywhere. We send our love to you. If you are a profound professional, really outstanding in your industry somewhere globally, I am featuring individuals globally, authors, speakers, CEOs, and doing something profound in the community or the world at large, please reach out to me so that you too can be featured here. I'm Jessica Koch, and until the next Profound Professional interview, we'll see you then. Take care, be safe, and, you know, as always, like, share, and comment. See you later, Sue. Bye.
Have an awesome day. Take care.
Bye-bye, everybody.